Since the last time we spoke, you made a very, very good case for why Amsler Royale should be, first of all, Marathon Bitch of the Year and also Greyhound of the Year. And it seems as though you were spot on the money as usual.
Well, uh, as you know, Floyd, that any opinion we're going to have on our own dogs are always going to be a bit biased, and I'm sure every other trainer and connection would have been the same with their nomination. You know, the ones that were nominated, and we were no different with I Am's a Royal. When it come down to it, we looked at this and we thought, well, we have got a chance of winning Ground of the Year, but we thought realistically she would have to win Bitch of the Year, and although she did look a bit of a shoe-in to win the Marathon of the Year, we thought perhaps if she was going to get the overall title, she would need to win both categories. So, and I've got nothing saying that she should have won Bitch of the Year. It's Queen Jessie J is a worthy winner of that title, but we felt at the time, well, that's ended maybe any hope of winning Ground of the Year. But so when it was announced, it came as a real nice surprise, and brought a real smile to our faces. I thought the awards overall, the virtual awards organised by the GBGB were really good. Obviously you're always going to get the odd technical glitch here and there, but I thought it was fabulously done, and they did hang about too much with them all, and it was good viewing, and credit where credit's due. That well done to the GBGB for that. Yeah, there's always going to be discussions, arguments, or whatever about who's won what, because that's the nature of these awards. It's never been anything different. But I felt like most of they went to the right places. But in the end, Holmes Royal, I felt like she had that wow factor all year long, a style of running, Skurlock Champess. She really excited people, and that was one of the reasons why she won the Ground of the Year. And we're delighted. The Irons Boys Syndicate have been great supporters of our kennel since virtually I started, or since I virtually took over the license from Linda, and they've had some close calls, missing out on some of their marathon stars in the past, not winning any awards. I Am Breeze in particular, I thought deserved something last year, and didn't even really get nominated. So this is sort of turned full circle. We've got deservedly nominations. We won the Marathon of the Year, and now fantastic, great news to win Ground of the Year.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because you could argue that in her year, I Am Breeze's claim was at least as strong as I Am Royals, particularly having come back from a broken hock. It's pretty much kind of the way the circumstances fall, I guess. Maybe with a bit more category one, Patrick would have had more chance with his dog for an extra category one, which of course he won early in this year. But I also felt that I Am Breeze was particularly unlucky given how hard he'd run, particularly at Hove in the Regency when she was so.
Yeah, the trouble with that, Floyd, was that when you're the Regency is a six-men competition, and as we've seen before, grounds can fall into that two categories there, and haven't quite. They've achieved a lot over the year, but not particularly enough in each category to actually win them, and that's been a problem occasionally, isn't it? And she probably fell victim to that, but that didn't matter. We was at the end of the day, with Irons and Royals victory, that's put all that behind us, and it's a real honour to have that Ground of the Year. I was fortunate as a part owner and a trainer to have Corn Maddie Jumbo the last time we won Ground of the Year. What a thrill that was from that, and of course going back to Blonde Snapper as well. So it's I know how much it means to the connections to have that prestigious title on the sideboard sort of thing. It's fantastic.
We talk about, before I let you just go on that, we talk about I Am Boys, but they keep their heads down fairly well. How many I Am Boys are there?
There's probably up to 10 now. Like the original three are still there really, which is Nigel Smith, Mitch Brennan, Perry Brennan as well. They started it off years ago. Great characters, they've had some terrific dogs for us over the years, and they love the marathon races, and winning the TV trophy alone was realised some big ambitions for themselves, and was a dream come true, particularly for Mitch, who said to me, nearly 15 years ago, that he'd rather win the TV trophy than the Derby. So, when we did win that at Hove in December, then you could just tell the emotion from him that that was a dream come true, and this is the icing on the cake to have the Ground of the Year title.
Yeah, the other thing, if I remember correctly, wasn't she sent over to Ireland at one stage during the year? So there's a chance you could have missed out on it completely, wasn't there?
Yeah, she went over because they felt there was more chances of racing over there before our open race action got underway there. We went in the big, or she went in the big Six Bend race against Ballymac Kingdom, and it's got that horrible name that I can never pronounce. Corn. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, and she enhanced her reputation by winning a heat. Didn't win the final or anything, but she drew some big admirers from over there. And when she came back, she just carried on. She's been in. Again, you look at that Ground of the Year. I've always think that it's that of the year. Rather than just one period during the year, it can also swam. And she was running February last year, winning a maiden open at Romford, and apart from the period of lockdown, was virtually on the scene all year long. The Cesarewitch obviously was a brilliant title to win, and to come from last to first in that over 10 bends was so exciting. Let's not forget that the marathon division has been a pretty strong one this year. There's been some, we've had some terrific stars that in their own right would have won some of these titles had she not been about, and so she's had to work. The memorable victory against Roxanne Christoph in the heats of the TV trophy really got people talking. It was such an exciting race to see a reel in such a great dog as Roxanne Christoph, which I'm sure helped her towards this title. And let's not forget as well, she's young enough to have a terrific year. There's nothing stopping her this year repeating what she done last year. Most of these big races are going to be from the second half of the year, so we're going to try and keep her ticking over with a few one-off races. She's due to trial at Monmore this Saturday in preparation for a marathon race there on the finals card the following Saturday. The 8:35 might be a little bit sharp for her, but got absolutely nothing against Crayford at all, but it just didn't felt like Iams Royals track would be Crayford. It just didn't sit, and I know there's some good marathons, and they're this week both over 8 bends and 10 bends. But have you that gut feeling where a track just isn't going to suit something? And I just think overall goal is to come back and try and win the Cesarewitch again, the TV trophy, and obviously the Durando would be thing, and they're all later on the year. So realistically, we just want to keep her ticking over for these first few months, and then hopefully get her to peak for the second half of the year.
Yeah, struck me the great ironies. If we'd have been having this discussion a year ago, and I'd have said to you, "Oh, by the way, you're going to win the Ground of the Year and the Marathon Ground of the Year," you'd have said, "Yeah, Bumblebee Bullet."
Well, of course, yeah, and that was a tragic loss to the sport, and for our kennel and for the connections. Of course, it was a real gutter. I mean, how good would those last 6 months of the year with if Bumblebee Bullet had been around to challenge the likes of I Am the Royal and Affirmed and Mixed Little Gem and Roxanne Christoph, say some great names in marathon racing this year, and she would have been I'm not, who knows, she was still improvement. She was still a really young bitch when, I mean, she was only a pup when she won the TV trophy the year before, and we know with these marathon stars that they get better with age. So that would have been really good for the sport had Bumblebee Bullet been around. Interestingly, I bought quite a close relation to Bumblebee Bullet, a young July 19 bitch that's just coming over called Flyer's Job, which is going to be changed to Tiffield Bluebell, I think it is, and she looks a marathon prospect for later on in the year as well. She got a nice card at Galway and was third in a decent final there on Saturday, and we've snapped her up. Of course, we're forgetting they'd take umbrage if I didn't mention Red Renee, of course. I mean, with that on the marathon scene this year, we are set for a really, really exciting year again on the marathons, and I think the boys, Mitch Brennan, they sponsored some events as well. It'd be nice to have some good marathon races which really capture the imagination of the betting public and the general public, and people love to see marathon racing. So the better class dogs we've got for that, the better it is for the sport.
Yeah, I was going to say this really should be a bit of a shout out, really, to get some marathons in place, because the dogs are there. You can't just magic them. They sort of emerge over a period of time if you're lucky. We've really got to make best use of it. The fact that we have half a dozen at least real top class marathon dogs all in training at the same time. It'd be such a shame if they can't get the races, which is what generally happens with marathon dogs, isn't it?
Yes, we already been treated to a terrific race at Toaster a couple of weeks ago with Affirmed and Irons Royal having her first run of the year, and that was a battle royale for 2 laps, and Affirmed showed what a good dog that is as well. And just holding off Irons Royal, we wasn't disappointed with the defeat. She ran really, really good, and look, she may well be a little bit vulnerable just having one-off races, because she thrives on her racing and everything, and I can't see us doing that until at least May or June, until these competitions start. So, but equally we don't want to just sitting on the bed. So we're going to try and find races for every week. Not every week, but trials or races for her. So she's running every week, 10 days until these competitions start.